us our book here by Christl, the great author and scholar about the ancient uses of cannabis, both as a religious sacrament and a medical necessity for improving life. They knew back in 5000, 4000 BC that it could be used for medicine, and there was sacred places where it was prepared in most of these ancient cultures. That's why we know, we found the artifacts of their relics that they basically worshipped cannabis like we do THC Ministry, where we use cannabis to help us worship God in the unity of man and the one love nature, that we could all come together, all human beings with all their cultural backgrounds, and through cannabis as a prism to get the love of our Creator and Spirit to come together in peace and love and heal this world, and using this plant for all its godly intended uses. And something could be so besmirched as this plant that shows us that we're living in times of very great peril, that the world is in trouble, and for them to lie about this gorgeous plant that shimmers and is magnificent in the light of the day, and it's just the color of cleansing us. And to eat this plant just raw is just an amazing medicine in our endocannabinoid system that uses the two types of marijuana drugs in our brain to regulate our whole body and create homeostasis, health. So we pick up our cap. We're never going to deny the love of cannabis for solving problems in our human family as a gateway into botany, and showing us how plants, the relationship between our kingdom and the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom, and that kind of interdisciplinary relationship is how we can solve so many of our problems if we just get more practical and honest with ourselves, and stop listening to these corporations who jam these poisonous chemicals and products down our throat without proper testing. And this GMO thing is just craziness, where America, we can't even label our products that we consume and eat, and we don't even know if GMO is in there because their political lobby is so strong in the United States. So it really goes back to this information denied the human family of our relationship with cannabis all around the world throughout our evolutionary process in these last thousands of years as a species. It's so important that people get the science of cannabis. It's such an exciting frontier, how it works in our brains and how we have this system throughout our body that regulates using cannabis drugs in our brains, and how using this plant throughout our evolutionary spiral with up to the heights to where we can reach the stars now with our thoughts and our physical, sending machines into space. So we can't have a plant that can save us from cancer, and that we really think is a sacrament to our religions, and that is worse than murder and rape and hurting people in our society, and so that are destroyed. Many of us in this movement, our lives have been so hurt over our love for this particular plant and using it in our lives as the freedom of our country promises us in our Constitution. Everything that's sacred and secular would say that there's no problem with our relationship with a plant from nature. So it's an ungodly war of prohibition that we have to overcome. No matter what you think about cannabis personally, how it's affected your life, you have to think about personal freedom and righteousness. And if we use this plant in a godly way, which I know we will when it re-legalizes, that we will show the world that our movement from the 60s, called the hippie movement or the love generation, was of the best intentions for not only our own culture, but as a subculture, but for the entire world. And we've been denigrated, and we're sick of it. We want our freedoms now. So it's Ray Christl, pastor of THC Ministry, our great scholar, Christl, Roger Christie, Mark Emery, and we don't want to forget these gentlemen. Mark and Roger are in jail right now, so we asked the U.S. government to release them and all political prisoners of cannabis, which is a benign, innocent, innocuous substance that doesn't even intoxicate us and can never kill us in any amount. So we have 0 deaths every year, and alcohol and tobacco are murdering millions of people around the world every year. And yet those are foisted upon us and pushed on us, and through trade agreements that are ungodly versus not being able to use cannabis. So thank you so much.